Europe's biggest economy is poised to re-enter lockdown. German Chancellor Angela Merkel is meeting with regional leaders today to discuss the path forward as some researchers say Germany is facing a third wave of coronavirus infections. The country has registered almost 8,000 new daily cases of the virus. That makes Germany's first wave of infections a year ago look relatively small, although fewer tests were being carried out back then. Well, the numbers fell back over the summer, but they began to rise again in the fall, leading to a much bigger second wave. And by late December, there were 4 times the number of infections recorded in April. Stronger lockdown measures brought those numbers down again. But since the start of March, there has been another sharp rise in infections. Scientists fear cases could jump to another new high. Well, Chancellor Merkel and regional leaders will be weighing health risks and potential damage to the economy when they begin their talks in a few hours from now. Our political correspondent, Thomas Sparrow, is covering those talks today. And he joins us now. Thomas, a worrying rise in infections here in Germany as the Chancellor meets state premiers again. What measures are they looking at?
It is certainly worrying, Terry, because only a few weeks ago, German leaders had met to plan how Germany would reopen. Those plans actually included a so-called emergency brake. In other words, how they would roll back those opening steps if infections rose again. And judging by numbers here in Germany, judging by infections, judging by the fact that now we're seeing exponential growth again, it is very probable that authorities will tighten the screws again of that lockdown here in Germany, and we will see further restrictions, Terry, which, by the way, are affecting businesses across Germany who were already very worried about the situation. Let's look at the report that we produced about one of those businesses that's particularly affected.
This homemade chocolate cherry cake is a favorite with customers. At the moment, Figo Lemke can only serve it to go. But that doesn't cover her costs at all. By now, she's accumulated a debt of around 35,000 euros. If Germany were to decide on a third hard lockdown, she'd be forced to close. If a third lockdown is actually put in place, then I would definitely have to shut down for good. Because I've taken out 2 loans, which I'll have to pay back. I just wouldn't know how to go on. Many businesses in Germany fear for their existence. Some have already given up. Meanwhile, COVID cases in the country are increasing rapidly, just weeks after restrictions were eased and schools and some shops reopened. More people are on the move, exposing themselves to the risk of infection. Researchers warn Germany's vaccination rollout has not progressed enough to counteract this. Even if we've already vaccinated many of the elderly, there is still a large proportion of vulnerable people who have not been given the jab. We still haven't vaccinated enough. That's why the number of patients in intensive care units will rise again. Many people in Germany are torn at the prospect of a third lockdown. I'm not thrilled because it's been going on for a year now, and at some point you're really done with it all. I'd rather we open and just live. It's boring. There are many COVID cases now, and we have to be careful. If we keep everything open, then infection numbers will go up, and that's a problem. But if we close everything, that means many businesses will go bust. Figo Lemke still hopes to avoid bankruptcy. She still wants to sell her homemade cakes for many years to come.
Thomas, people here in Germany are understandably frustrated at the slow rollout of the vaccination campaign. Is there any sign that that vaccination rollout is going to get faster?
Terry, there's no doubt that there's frustration at Germany's very slow vaccination rollout. In fact, a vast majority of Germans believe it's not going the way it should. It's going badly or very badly. And that's why authorities have been trying to speed up that vaccination program. one of the key areas that they're focusing now on is involving some of the GPs or family doctors who could then help to administer some of those very important coronavirus vaccines. For those who are expecting this to speed everything up very quickly, they will probably be disappointed. But it's not only about speed here, it's also about flexibility on the one hand. That's something that they expect to achieve by involving GPs and family doctors. And on the other hand as well, it's about trust, which has been damaged in the last few weeks and which authorities also hope can be restored with the help of family doctors who know their patients very well. So these are the elements that authorities are focusing now on when it comes to making sure that this all-important vaccination rollout can actually happen better and quicker.
You mentioned trust, Thomas. This is also affecting Germany's health minister, Jens Spahn. He's under scrutiny for a mask procurement contract. Tell us more about that.
That's correct. The deal involves the health ministry and the company for which Jens Spahn's husband actually works. And we're talking here about the procurement of face masks, although both the ministry and the company involved have rejected any wrongdoing. But it comes on top of problems that Angela Merkel's Conservatives are already facing for possible corruption involving the buying and selling of face masks. So we're talking here about not only all these problems that we've discussed, but also a very politically difficult moment for Angela Merkel's CDU-CSU bloc here in Germany.
Thomas, thank you very much. Our political correspondent, Thomas Sparrow, there.